Yes, sir, baby. Welcome, Hawk fans, to the debut of the Hawkaholics podcast. I am your host, Brad, the Jacksonville Hawkeye, and with my co-host, Mr. Brandon France, over there in Iowa as we speak. How are we doing tonight, sir?
Amazing. Beautiful day. It's cooled down. Used to be 90-some degrees. Now it's a beautiful, brisk day. It's football's in the air. Camp's going on. I'm ready to talk some Hawks, baby. Let's do this.
I'm jealous, man. I just had to put up with Debbie for 3 days raining on me and didn't do anything else. So,
how was that?
I'm more worried about derechos in Iowa than I am anything else.
Okay.
Every hurricane I've had so far has not done shit. So, well, cool. Let's kick this thing off. We're gonna skip no time getting this thing fired up, Hawk fans. We have Mr. Mike Germanis with us from the College Football Dogs. I'm going to bring on Mike, and we're going to talk Big Ten Media Days as Mike was there with us for the College Football Dogs. Mike, how we doing tonight, sir?
Good. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? Congratulations on your first show.
Thank you.
It's a glorious day, my friend. Glorious.
It's never too early to start talking Hawkeye football.
Never. Well,
it's never too early to talk Hawkeyes in the state of Iowa.
Absolutely not. Unless you're names, then you can't do that.
They kind of shy away from us. It's fine. Well, cool. So, Mike, a few questions for you here. How was Indy? Is that your first time doing a Big Ten Media Day, or have you been there before?
It was my first time going to Big Ten Media Days. It was a very overwhelming but great experience.
Nice. What was your favorite part?
Probably walking in for the first time to Lucas Oil Stadium and being on the field.
I bet that's crazy. I've never been there.
Because I thought it would have been like in the back rooms or something. I didn't expect it to be right on the field. And I should have, because I watched it before, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to be on the field. And then seeing like the national championship trophy or the Rose Bowl, the Big Ten trophy, all sitting there, and you could just walk up, no security, no nothing. You could touch it. Like, I'm not going to lie. At one point, I thought it would fit in my bag. But I didn't think I'd get too far.
Did you cry when you saw him?
Like the national championship, I did, because I don't know how long my team's going to hold on to it for. So I had to take some pictures with it. It might be gone sooner than later, but we'll just leave that at that.
That's okay.
You just got to put an asterisk with that one. That's fine. We all know.
It seems like all my championships have asterisks.
Hey, man. At least they're there. Some teams don't even get a sniff, man.
Yeah, it's just because you guys have to learn how to play offense.
What'd you say? I can't. What's that? What is offense? Well, awesome, dude. That's awesome. What was your what was your favorite part besides being on the field? Like, at least who you interacted with?
I was surprised how I was expecting a lot more people to be less down to earth, if you will. But like everybody was just like regular. It sounds weird to say regular people because you see them on TV and stuff. But they were all like down to earth. Walk out to them, good morning, how you're doing? They would. Like Howard Griffin from Big Ten Network walked by. I stopped him. Hey, good morning. How you doing today? Good. How's everything? Who you with? Like very fast, but very great. Like just a super nice guy.
Phenomenal. That's awesome, man. It's always cool when you get to meet those people. I got to meet Herb Street one time at a Wisconsin-Iowa game. It was so cool. He's just an announcer. It's pretty awesome.
That is pretty
cool. Even like what I was expecting the coaches to be like, I was shocked. Like Lincoln Riley seems like the type of guy I would want to go for a beer with. Like super cool,
really
super cool dude. Like I was expecting the Southern California, maybe a little bit cocky. Not at all. At least to me, he came off like a guy you could sit there and just talk football with.
It's that Oklahoma in him.
Yep.
He hasn't been in SoCal long enough, man.
No, it's coming. It's coming. He's going to end up like our fearless president at College Football Dogs.
What are some takeaways you saw or heard from your time in Indy?
Well, But what do you mean by that?
So, like, is this your first time in the Midwest?
Who, me? No, I live just outside of Detroit.
Okay, so you kind of got a gist of Midwest nice. And I was going to say something about that too when you said you were surprised with how nice the people of Indy were.
Yeah, that was my first time in Indy. The city was I really liked the city. The city was pretty cool actually too, and where we stayed was in a good location. So, but that St. Elmo's wasn't what everything I heard about.
Yep, everybody talks about that. Every single show I've listened to, radio, podcast, you name it. You got to go to St. Elmo's. Got to go to St. Elmo's. Got to have at least one dinner at St. Elmo's.
I did, and it wasn't the best I've ever had. I'll tell you that.
So you will not be telling me to stop there, is what you're telling me.
No, you got to stop there, but
see,
it's not like the ultimate steakhouse I was thinking. But it was good. Like, I shouldn't say it wasn't good. It was good. It just wasn't in my Mount Rushmores of steakhouses.
That's because it's not corn-fed.
That's right.
Coming from Iowa.
Heck yeah.
Who was your favorite interview? Did you get to interview many people? And if you did, who was your favorite and who was your least favorite?
I didn't really get to interview. It doesn't really work like that. When you watch it on TV and you see the main stage, that's very controlled, right?
Correct.
Everybody, you raise your hand. If they pick you, they pick you. Most of the coaches, besides UCLA, had a very long introduction. And they minimize how many questions you get because you only get 15 minutes, right? And they usually go to the bigger people, I noticed. And being my first time, I was kind of more treating it as learning. But once you get in the back, it's all chaos. Like, guys are yelling out questions and stuff, and you turn around and you're like, hey, I know you. You're from The Athletic. Or, oh, you work for ESPN. So I kind of got intimidated. I'm not going to lie at first. But the one guy I did ask a question to was Max Bredesen from Michigan, just about who was going to be the new leaders of the team. And it was the names I was kind of figuring you were going to hear. But he answered the question, no problem. The players seem at first, like Miller Moss at first was really busy. And then all of a sudden it would die out a little bit towards the end. The coaches were jammed. Especially like Lincoln Riley, Matt Rule, and these guys. Sharon Moore, like, it was filled for those guys. And it's hard to get in there and ask a question.
What about Kirk Ferentz? Was he mobbed or was he just hanging out?
No, he was busy.
Himself?
All the coaches were busy. Actually, you know what? Kirk Ferentz, on TV, he seems like this very okay. I'm going to try to mince my words very nicely. He seems like a very grouchy old man.
Not at all.
But he's not at all.
Nope. He's just he's a old school, straightforward shooter is what I like to.
Yeah, he seems like he's another guy who seems like he'd be very cool to talk to.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, he answers the questions. I don't think you want to ask him a stupid question because I think he would let you know. I think he would let you know.
No.
But I was watching when he was doing it, and yeah, he had a pretty good mob. Most of the questions were about offense, about the new hire, right?
Man,
so everybody's trying to figure who's the quarterback going to be. I think at media days he pretty much set that out that it's going to be Cade McNamara from what I took from what he was saying.
Yep.
Which to me, I like Cade. I was a Cade guy when he was at Michigan. He's not going to give you the flash in the pans play, but he's not going to turn the ball over, and he'll make the plays that you need to at least give you a shot to win.
Shit, he whooped our ass in that Big Ten championship game.
He did.
I remember.
Everybody whoops your ass in the Big Ten championship game.
Hey, we held you guys to barely 200 yards last year.
Yes, you did.
Not many.
We were still hungover from beating Ohio State, and we didn't have your plays.
We don't have any plays, man. It's hard.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Run to the side.
Straight up the middle.
You don't have to worry about shit.
Heck no. Reverse.
Straight up the middle. What are they doing? Straight up the middle.
Well, since you brought it up, I'm going to skip down on my notes here, but you brought up Tim Lester. What are your thoughts on Tim Lester and the hire that Iowa did make?
Well, let's be honest. He's coached at a lot of spots, right? Purdue, Syracuse, North Central. He was at Green Bay as an
Western
analyst,
Michigan.
and now he's back, right?
Yep.
If he doesn't even have to be that good. First of all, everybody's better than Brad Ferentz. Let's be honest.
Hey, Maryland hired him.
You can't be any worse. If you start the season and you have to average 25 points a game to keep your job, you should have been fired before the season started.
Facts.
Okay, so let's put that out there right now.
Yep.
If he can be average to above average with the defense Iowa usually has, they're going to upset some teams.
Yep.
And with the schedule you have, you might need it. Because I think, who do you got? Ohio State. At Ohio State, you go to the shoe. Then you got Washington at home. But let's be honest, Washington was gutted.
Yep.
And we don't know what Washington it's going to be. You got Wisconsin at home.
Yep.
Maryland. But we don't know who Maryland's quarterback is going to be because Tui's gone.
Yep.
And then you finish the season at Nebraska, which I think Nebraska is going to be really good.
That's going to be
I think that's at Kinnick, bud. Sorry. But, I
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's at home.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. It's all good, though. Black Friday at night, it's going to be
rowdy.
Wild.
And I think Nebraska is going to be a very good team this year.
I do too.
I think that big game will come down to it'll say a lot. It will determine a lot between Iowa and Nebraska. I have a feeling, personally.
The problem I was going to have is the divisions are gone now.
Yep.
And it didn't get any easier with the addition of these teams.
Nope.
Like, if we're going to be honest, Ohio State and Oregon are probably 1-2. And it's going to be hard for anybody to knock those two out of the Big Ten championship game, at least this year.
So who's three? Who's three in your mind?
Yep.
I'm curious.
Penn State. I'd go Penn State. Well, here's the problem with Penn State. James Franklin.
Facts.
He can't be top teams. Like, what's he?
That's
4-13 against Michigan and Ohio State. Like 3-12 against top 10 teams or something. Like, it's not a good record. But if Drew Aller can be the Drew Aller that he was projected before the season started last year, Troy, of course. If he could be the quarterback they project him to be, then I can see them being pretty good too.
All right. So we got number 3, 4, and 5. And I'm curious if you say this team's name at number 4 or 5 as to why you picked that. So let's hear what your 4 and 5
I would go 4 Michigan, 5 USC.
Why USC?
Miller Moss. I think Miller Moss is going to be really good. If you look at Lincoln Riley's track record, he develops quarterbacks. And at Big Ten Media Days, Miller Moss seemed confident. He seems like the guy. He looks the part. He sounds the part. He's a guy you'd want to lead your offense. The thing about USC, they have the opposite problem as Iowa. Can USC play defense?
Started last year with that.
And if they can, you could see USC moving into 3, possibly the 2 spot. They got a tough schedule, but if they start upsetting a couple teams, it's going to be interesting. Now, that's if Lynn, from their new DC, can fix the defense.
Yeah. I mean, that was the big holdup last year for him, and that's...
Yeah, I think you had
right.
You had a quarterback that if you had a defense, he probably would have won back-to-back Heismans. Because you would have won the conference.
I got a question for you. So Miller Moss or Cade McNamara, if you could pick one quarterback over the other, who would you pick to start and why?
Miller Moss, higher upside. Even though he's only played in the one game, I think he gives you a higher upside. I think he's going to be able to make the bigger plays the more flashy plays
Right.
than Cade. But Cade gets a bad knock just because he's not the quickest. He doesn't seem the biggest athlete, but he wins games.
Thanks, Terry, over there.
Attaboy, Terry.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and McNamara, I mean, other than his 1 year he was healthy at Michigan, he can't seem to stay standing up, at least for us. So I'm curious to see. I know we'll talk about camp news later on, Brandon, but one of the few things that we have heard is that he is 100% healthy for the first time. He wasn't last year.
Farron said that at Big Ten Media Days too, that he's 100% healthy from his ACL. So I think you guys are going to be, if he stays healthy, I think you guys are going to be happy with it. And with your defense, that's going to be a very veteran defense that should be really good. Do you really need to have the offense be top 3 or 4?
No.
Like, think about it. Your defense spent 90% of the time on the field last year and still had a great year. Can you imagine if they only spend 60% or 50% and they're not dead tired by the third quarter?
Yeah. I mean, imagine some of those calls that Parker can dial up, some blitzes and some different schemes. When you're winded, you can't take that same approach. You have to pay.
Okay, here's my question to you. How is he still your DC?
He doesn't want to go anywhere.
Because, okay, I heard he makes, what, $2 million a year?
He's well
decent,
well taken care of.
Around there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was one of these 4 teams coming in, I would have took a Brinks truck, drove it to his house, and just pulled up into his front door with it and be like, what do you want?
Hey, I said USC should have did that last year, and everybody laughed at me.
Picture him with USC's talent on that defense.
Right.
With those playmakers.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
Now, I'm glad he didn't.
Same.
Because I don't want to listen to any USC fan.
Yeah.
Because they're actually worse than my fan base. And probably more delusional than my fan base. So no one wants to hear USC fans.
It is nice seeing them whine over the last decade or so since,
It's been nice.
They haven't been doing nothing, so.
No.
Get humbled.
And not in their eyes. And
they're about to get humbled too again. We'll talk about that down the way.
Mike, question for you. Any dark horses? If you had to pick, who would be your dark horse to win
Nebraska. I don't even have to Nebraska. 5-7 last year. 5 of the losses, 1-score game.
Yeah.
Colorado, it was actually closer than it looked until they had 3 fumbles and an interception. -17 in turnovers last year.
They got defense.
And they finally got possibly a quarterback.
Yep.
In Riola. Because there's a reason why Ohio State wanted him and Georgia.
Facts.
Like, you're not like, oh, they went and took him from Little School of the Blind, or I took him from this school. You know what I mean? Like a little school.
Yeah.
You went and got him from.
Got it.
you took him from 2 of the main powers in the school in college football.
Yep.
And all the reports out of spring game is he looked good.
Oh, that's good. That's what I want. I want that last game to be the rivalry we all thought it should have been many years ago.
And Matt Rule's a good coach.
Yep.
Let's be honest. Like, Matt Rule can coach. Would it surprise you if they were really good?
Not me.
No. Because
I mean, you hit on it. You hit on it already. Their losses last year by 1 possession or less, 5-7, still almost made a bowl game. It came down to that Iowa game, and that was a close game. Iowa had to pull that out.
With the -17 turnover.
Yep.
Like, they turned it over like it was their job.
Yep. They did.
Been that way.
If they go from -17 to -2, or even in the positive 1 or 2, 3, 4, or 5, they're going to be a good team this year.
Oh, definitely. They're definitely an 8 or 9 win team in my eyes, honestly. But
I think they ride into their game against Ohio State unbeaten.
I do too.
And I think that's going to be that will set up a nice matchup. Do I think they'll beat Ohio State? I don't think so, but the hype that will be around that game will be something else.
Well, what's going to kill them is their last 5 games. Because
Yeah.
I think they go Ohio
Yeah.
State, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and you guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
they got a doozy.
That's not an easy stretch of games.
But the fans will be happy though. I mean, as soon as they hit that 6 win, dude, it's gonna be a party.
Yep. Finally
Oh,
bowling.
All the
been-
'90s music you can play.
Oh boy.
And again, if Riola's what everybody thinks he is, there could be a couple upsets in there, and you could see them in the 4 spot, maybe the 3 spot, depending.
Oh. Man, that was my next question. Any dark horses for the playoff from the Big Ten?
I'd go them. I'd go now. Do you want to possibly make a run in the playoff?
Both.
Yeah,
Why
we
not?
can do that one next. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
To make the playoff, dark horses, I would have to go, like I said before, Nebraska, USC. Because right now everybody's projecting the same top 4, right? You're seeing Ohio State, Oregon 1A, 1B. And then it's either Michigan 3 or Penn State 3 and then Michigan 4. But if USC has a defense and Nebraska has a quarterback, is it possible you see one of those 2 teams get in? And if USC has a defense, does anybody want to play them?
Yeah, that's
We'll be your Huckleberry.
Like I could
We'll
see
do it.
I could see USC having a quarterback, and if Lynn gets it right on defense, because they have talent, I could see him make a run.
That's true.
What about a 10-2, 11-1 Iowa, with their losses being obviously Ohio State? So if they're 11-1, would they get in with their one loss being Ohio State?
Yeah, if your one loss is to Ohio State, you're in. If you're 11-1 in the Big Ten, you're getting in.
What about 10-2? And let's say hypothetically that loss is to Nebraska, Ohio State.
As long as you're in the top 3, you're getting in. The question is, if you're that 4th seed, what's happening around you? Because then you're going to need help.
Yeah.
SEC top 3, Big Ten top 3 are getting in 100%. I don't care what anybody says, they're getting in. And realistically, if you probably look, the top 4 in each are probably going to get in. Because really, one team from the Big 12, who else is really, are you looking at it saying, oh, this team is possibly a playoff team?
I can think of 2, and that's it.
Utah.
Oklahoma State.
Maybe
And then-
Kansas State. You're crazy.
And then in the ACC,
Clemson.
Clemson.
Florida State, if they can repeat last
Clemson and
year.
Florida State, I think.
That's about
Definitely.
it.
So, yeah, you might have one get 4, SEC get 4, Big Ten get 3, Big Ten get 4, SEC, depending on schedules, how they massacre each other.
Right.
Like, this is the year Iowa needed the divisions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would have did us well this year again.
It would have did
Yes,
you
it did.
excellent.
We'd be right back in Indy for that championship game if we did it right.
Well, we would also have Oregon, the 2 Cali schools, and Washington. Oof.
Well, I think they
I don't
would
know
have had
about
to
that.
switch it up a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah. I would assume kick Illinois and Northwestern out, maybe. Maybe Wisconsin. Well, no, not Wisconsin, but definitely Illinois and Northwestern.
But
Big Ten backers want that corn price. You got that for him, Brandon?
389.
Bush.
This is the Iowa State average. 389. What was it? 5 cents from yesterday. And soybeans, can't forget soybeans, $9.98.
There you
see,
go,
that's
back.
that's
There
how
you go,
know
farmers.
that's how you know you have a good podcast. When you're breaking down the market on corn, it's an excellent podcast.
Well, this is
Thank
Iowa,
you, sir.
man.
We appreciate that.
We gotta know stuff.
Oh, you got it. Especially being Iowa fans, you got it.
Well, except for Brad, he's off in La La Land. Paradise.
Listen, I'm gonna say this though: Iowa, 100%, the wave, best tradition in college football.
Thank you.
I will give you guys that best tradition in college football.
I appreciate that.
I agree. Never been a part of it yet, though.
Oh,
Whoever
Brad,
came
hey,
up with building a children's hospital overlooking the stadium should win an award. That's outstanding.
Well, the cool news is where that whole thing started, the Hawkeye Heaven on Facebook. We are going to have the founder Levi on one of our shows later on this season. So we're actually going to talk to him about how it all started many years ago. Next week.
I'm tuning in for sure for that. That's
awesome.
That's a great tradition.
Yep, we'll get to see where it started, talk to the guy that was a part of the history of that, and just how crazy it was. So it's going to be phenomenal next week. Not like it's not awesome this week, but we're good. Well, sweet. We'll keep moving on here. You got one for him, Brandon? Let you take this one.
Yeah. Who do you have in the Big Ten championship? And another thing, Iowa. Its win totals. Over or under 8?
Big Ten championship, listen. It's going to be Ohio State. Okay, first, Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten. I can tell you that right now. Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten. As much as it guts me to say it, Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten. Oregon will be second. Ohio State there's too much talent everywhere. Like, if you look at that team, besides maybe offensive line, but every other position looks like they're going to have somebody who's going to play in the NFL. Oregon's building a team like they're playing in the SEC. You got to give Oregon credit. Dan Lanning's building a monster.
He is.
So I think you're going to see those two teams. They could be a consistent favorite to be in the Big Ten championship year in year out. Iowa over 8. Push. Put them right around 8.
You taking them at 8?
I'd put them at 8. 8 and 4.
That's the safe bet. If you lived in Iowa or you've been an Iowa fan your entire life, that is always the safe bet with Kirk Ferentz.
You got their schedule in front of you?
Oh, I have it in my head. Yeah.
Okay, game 1.
Illinois State.
Win. Game 2.
W. Iowa State. Now this one,
win.
We'll go over this. Oh,
it's a win. I'll tell you right now, they're going to win this game.
I like it, Mike. So. Keep going.
I do like it. I do like it. Troy.
Win.
Shout out to the Sun Belt Syndicate, by the way. Who's next? I think, is it Minnesota, I believe, right?
Win.
We have one more. Yep.
I don't even know who their quarterback is yet.
I'm pretty sure it's that dude with a really long name, but I could be wrong.
I thought he transferred out, but I'd have to check.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Because I think last year for the bowl game, they had no quarterback, and they had to give somebody an NIL deal just to play quarterback for their bowl game. in the Motor City Bowl. Or the one in Detroit. I forget the name of it.
Motor City.
Okay, so right now they're 4-0.
Ohio State.
Loss.
Washington.
Win.
Michigan State. At Michigan State.
Win.
Northwestern at Iowa.
Loss.
Ooh.
What?
Oh,
I was going to have a bad loss, and I think it's going to be Northwestern. Northwestern shocked a lot of people last year.
Wisconsin at Iowa.
Win.
Now, this is the one I don't like that's the bad loss. Iowa at UCLA on a Friday night.
I could have sworn you
what
did.
I got them at? I got them at 7 wins right now, right?
Yep.
Win. UCLA by that time is going to be decimated.
At Maryland.
Win. And then they're going to lose to Nebraska.
So 9-3.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it.
9-3, 9-4, right around there.
Nailed it. Perfect.
I don't think UCLA is deep enough to play in the Big Ten yet.
Back to the Orlando for the 800th time, according to Mike.
No, my thing with that UCLA game is every time we travel out west, other than the bowl game, it doesn't go very well for us.
We never do well out west.
I'll never forget. We went out to Arizona State and got thumped by 40 points. And the very next day, Ferentz put a toilet in the middle of the locker room and told them we're flushing that down the toilet. Then they ended up winning. I think they went 10-2 that year. So we'd have to
but now
now
with all the travel and stuff, these other teams are going to have to do too.
Yep.
You got to see how it's going to change their game plan too, right?
Yep. And I do believe. One second here. I'm wanting to say that they squeezed a bye week somewhere around there.
Oh, see, now if they squeeze the bye week just before you guys, that's terrible.
Between Minnesota and Ohio State's one, and then the last one I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yep, right after UCLA.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, so they'll go there, and then they'll have a week off. Then they'll have Maryland week before Thanksgiving, and then Nebraska Black Friday.
What you hope is that UCLA's traveling to like a Rutgers the week before.
I heard that they set it up so they won't have to do that kind of stuff. So if you are going that far, you're either home or you have a bye week the very next week. Is what I was told. I don't know 100%.
I don't know. I haven't looked at UCLA's schedule. It makes sense for them to do that. But that's what that's what I would hope for, that they'd have a long trip the week before.
Right.
Could be.
But I
I
don't think UCLA is going to have a good year this year.
I don't think they will either. I think they're going to get some humble pie.
I don't think they're ready for what the Big Ten's going to bring.
No.
Is that the only team that you think is going to come in and get humbled, or is there anybody else that you think is going to get humbled?
I don't think Washington, but that's not Washington's fault.
Right.
I think they were pretty much gutted, right? With the amount of players that hit the portal, NFL, new coach, new style.
Here's a question for you, Mike.
Who do you think?
Charles, what do you mean by fifth conference champion? You talking like the non-power power fours?
Yeah, I don't understand. Who the fifth conference champion
The
is?
fifth. Group of five?
Four.
What?
Big 12, ACC, SEC, and Big 10. I guess maybe he's wanting like your would have been the Power Five.
Who's the best group of five?
Group of
teams?
Oh,
Sure.
I wouldn't even try to answer that.
Me either.
I'm one of the believers. I'm probably gonna get beat up too. I'm one of the believers that the group of five should have their own playoff. That they don't belong in this playoff.
I hope so, Terry.
We hope so too, Terry.
I don't like Oregon, and I want them to earn my respect, even though they don't need it. But still, I don't. I think I'm like the only Oregon hater. I mean,
how do you hate Oregon? Just that guy going around in
the
the
fans.
suit
Just
to
the
every
fans.
stadium is awesome.
Just the fans. Just. I didn't mind them when they're in the Pac-12, but like since they found out that they're coming over to the Big Ten, they're like, oh, it's kind of like Nebraska. I will rule you. To every single comment feed.
I like what they're doing. They're coming in cocky. They're coming in with that guy in a duck suit going to every stadium. They had the big duck at media days.
Right. But Nebraska came in cocky too, and look what happened. But they didn't have the effect that Oregon has, nor the money. So I guess
unlimited money
on that part. Yes.
Now, what Oregon better hope is that it doesn't become a billionaires game, because there's a lot of bigger schools in Oregon that I don't think anybody wants to mess with if it becomes a billionaires game when it comes to NIL.
The Nike Ducks.
I don't think anybody wants to go against USC's alumni base.
Troy over here, he says,
he says
Oregon sucks, and he lives there.
It's okay. I was in Columbus and had to find out about the draft, and I'm a Michigan fan. So let's go. Let's go. How my Sunday was.
Mike still got that championship for now. For those who don't know, Mike's a big Michigan fan, so when we talk about what he's doing, that's what it is.
I think you'll keep it, to be honest with you. I don't see anything wild happening. Maybe to Sharon, but I don't think you're going to lose any.
The good thing is we're at least a year and a half away from anything.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. You figure 90 days, then the NCAA has to do their thing, and they move like a snail. And then if you don't like it, then it's got to go to court, and you're going to tie it up in court for another 6 months to a year. So what? 2026, maybe. I don't even know if the NCAA is going to be around in 2026.
I don't think it is, to be honest with you. Personally,
don't scare me.
Hey,
that could be Michigan's plan,
baby.
Just have the courts tie it up long enough for the NCAA to go away. Then it won't matter what we did.
You just got to get that good lawyer to keep pushing it along, baby.
I'm pretty sure they have enough money to grab a whole firm of good lawyers.
There you go. Perfect.
Definitely.
They could spend that TV money.
The trophy won't leave. Don't worry. They'll keep it nice and safe. All right. Well, let's keep the questions rolling. Let me make sure I covered everything I'm supposed to do. Man. Honestly, you got anything, Brandon?
Yeah. Defense. Iowa's defense. Top 5 in the country. What do you think?
Why would you bet against it? We like it's Iowa's defense. It's one of those things like Ohio State has great wide receivers, and Iowa's defense is always really, really good. And this team has a great offense. Michigan always has great offensive line play. Like it's routine now.
Yep.
Right.
Like it if they're not top 5, they'll be top 10. And if they can have an offense that's half decent, like there's no reason why they wouldn't be. And you guys you have an older defense this year.
It's the oldest defense I can remember. This could be as good as the 2009 defense. I don't know if you remember.
Okay, I got a question. Who replaces Cooper DeJean?
John Nestor.
John Nestor.
A
guy that's good, just like him.
As good as him?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. They're built the same. They have the same style as far as football goes. They're very similar.
When you guys asked me to come in, I was like, I got to ask this question because he was a big playmaker for you guys.
Yeah. I know. I think we'll be fine without him. In fact, our secondary is probably the most loaded I've seen it. Between Sebastian Castro coming back, Jamari Harris. I mean, we returned 2 safeties secondary that not that it matters much, but in the NCAA game, all were over 90s between Xavier Wampa. I think he was a 90, and then Sebastian Castro, which I believe was a 92 or 94. But
because I was looking at the projected starting lineup, and it was senior, grad, senior, junior, senior, grad. I was like, yeah, this team is older.
Yeah, it's probably the oldest defense I've seen in a long time, and probably be the best defense I've seen since 2009. And we've had some good defense since then.
You can't forget about Quinn Schulte.
You know what? That's a big part because I think it was Mike Loxley at Big Ten Media Days who said the better teams are going to be the ones who stick together or stay together. Stay together. And if you can get players to seniors, you have an advantage here.
I mean, Jay Higgins returning. He didn't have to return. That guy was a top 3 rounder at middle linebacker position.
Definitely.
Came back this year. He had 171 tackles last year, something insane like that. Didn't have to come back. He came back, and he's anchoring that defense. So I think they're going to be scary, and I'm excited to talk more about them later on. But
as long as for you guys, it's all about the offense. Can you offense keep your defense off the field?
Can you score enough points to get the win?
Yeah.
I'm willing to bank money.
You can't depend on the defense scoring more points than the offense every game.
Oh, hell no.
Like, it's not a winnable recipe. Like, at some point, your offense has to become just not anemic. Like, just move the ball a little bit. 21, get to maybe a race to 25 points. Because really, that's all Iowa usually needs.
Yep.
Just get to 25. If you get to 25, you should be in every game with your defense.
I usually say the first 17 wins. If we get to 17 first, chances are we're going to win. If they get there, we're not going to score enough points unless our defense does something. So
now the only game that's not going to matter, I think, is Ohio State.
Yeah.
I don't care what defense you have. I don't think that game's going to matter.
They'll stick around as long as they can, but I unfortunately I'm with you on that one. As much as I want to hope that we can pull another upset like we've done all those years with Michigan and Penn State.
But
it's a different breed.
What would have been nice if it was at Kenneck at night, because that's a different atmosphere too.
That's a whole different ball game right there.
That's like going to Penn State for a whiteout.
Yep.
There's a lot of good teams that come into Kenneck ranked and leave unranked.
Right, Michigan? Right?
Yeah, I see. I'm not having a bad week enough. You got to make it even worse.
Absolutely.
It's all the jabs we got right now.
For now. We coming.
Oh, got a question here from Terry. Terry wants to know from you. UCLA, over or under? 7.
Under.
I got them
I
under.
agree. 5 and 7 or
That's
less, right?
5 and
5.
7 is a good.
5
would be a good best case scenario for me personally.
They're not ready for this. This is different. We play defense in the Big Ten.
Yep.
This is not where you're going to go and try to arm tackle and grab the guy by the shirt and ask him to lay down, please. They're going to find out. They're going to go to some of these places in cold weather and find out what it's like to hit the ground and when it's -2 and a 30-mile-an-hour wind. It's not nice.
It's a whole different ball game.
That hit hurts just a little bit more.
To answer your question, Chris, I can think of one for you. Xavier Wampa, 5-star safety from the same school as, God, I can't even think of his name. The kid that went to Alabama, transferred to Iowa.
Oh, Southeast Polk.
At the Southeast Polk. That kid.
Yeah. The Rams.
6'1". I believe he's 6'1". 6'2". Safety, 5-star. We never get. So that would be probably when you're should make a huge leap from last year to this year.
I hope so, man.
And then who's the other one? Who's the wide receiver kid? You work with his mom, Brandon.
Caden Wetchen.
Another local kid. Something for you to
Beast.
watch out as well.
Beast.
Reminds me of Charlie Jones. If I had to pick a style. So
Kid's,
don't be surprised.
Kid's got some wheels.
He's got some wheels.
Yeah.
Definitely wheels. Good question. All right, well, Mike, we appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I want to wish you guys best of luck with the new show.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, man. That
I
was
appreciate
awesome.
it. If you want to take
the beginning actually made me want to be an Iowa fan.
Hey,
Like I was ready to go get a helmet on, and I was ready to get going.
Hey, let's do this.
I was
Come on,
terrible at football, but just watching that beginning, I was like, I'm ready to do this. It was
Mike,
great.
go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, follow you. Give yourself a nice little shameless plug here and get you a nice
Twitter, CFD Germanese. On Facebook, Mike Germanese. You can check me out on the College Football Dogs website. And that's about it.
Well, awesome, Mike. I think we're good.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for stopping
Appreciate
in
it.
again. We'll
Yes,
let you
and-
get back to your evening, and maybe we'll chat throughout the year and see when you're free. And maybe on the
welcome to this beautiful College Football Dogs media network.
Hey, we're
Look
happy.
forward to
much,
watching
man.
you guys with some of these other great shows. So
Pumped. I
it'd be
appreciate
great.
it, dude.
Bless. All right, Mike. We'll take care.
take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
All
buddy.
right, bye. Very nice. That was fun.
Hell
First
yeah.
interaction with Mike. I loved it. Great guy. Very knowledgeable. Glad he was part of our team there in Indy. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess it'd probably be some ad time now. So we're going to take a moment here. Probably grab another beer. Getting pretty low here. Play some ads here, and then we'll be back. And we were going to return. We are going to talk State Fair food. With it being the State Fair in Iowa time, I think it's time we get our fat kids on and talk about some food. We'll be back after the break, y'all.
What brings you in today?
A lot of rage.
Have you considered the Knicks? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
I don't want to care. You really kind of opened my eyes on this.
Spike the ball.
You know, in therapy, we often talk about what we can and can't control. Did your favorite team get eliminated from the playoff chase in week 1? Did your star player get injured before the season? Do you still have 0 wins in fantasy? Then you need to talk to me, the sports therapist.
I am a New England Patriots fan.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It used to be who are the Patriots playing in the Super Bowl. Now it's will the Patriots win next week?
Exactly.
Probably not.
I'm the victim of a $500 million team where that's given me a $0 payoff. This is the Mets.
And I'll remind you that everything you say here is confidential. Do you find yourself thinking about other baseball teams?
I think about the Astros. I'm going to move to Houston.
I grew up as a Met fan. Maybe we try Rutgers football. Maybe we just play racquetball at the gym. Friends would definitely be better than Rutgers football, huh? The Cowboys are more often a source of misery in your life.
We know what helps Cowboys Nation mental health? Rings.
Maybe the Cowboys will never win a ring in your lifetime. Whose fault do you think it is that the Vikings are not performing so well?
I will say the third game, Kirk Cousins, spike the ball. Get a good playoff. Don't throw an interception with the last play of the game.
What is it you'd like to talk about today?
The Jets,
How have you been coping?
a lot of crying.
But if there's a way to engage with the New York Jets without bringing heartbreak on yourself, then I think that could be healthy.
I haven't even smiled this much in 2 weeks, Doc. The Commanders are losing.
Do you think that all of that anger will come exploding out of you?
It might.
There was quite a bit of rage in that, wasn't there? Maybe there's some deep breathing exercises we can do. We're going to breathe in Terry McLaurin, and we're going to breathe out Terry McLaurin. And we're going to breathe in Ron Rivera, and we're not going to let him get us upset.
There was a lot of hype around Kenny Pickett this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just not panning out the way I thought.
And so what do you do in those moments? Do you grab your terrible towel and do you sort of give yourself a rub down, or?
I actually forgot my terrible towel that day.
It seems that you are not holding up your end of the bargain.
I feel like Taylor Swift has just taken over the Kansas City Chiefs football program.
If anything, he missed that first week, and then he started dating Taylor. He was back on the field.
You know what? Now that you think about it, Doc, she might be the good luck charm. I might download her music now.
Well, that's our time.
Thank you.
This is the first time in my life that I've actually felt anything other than deep depression.
Shout out to fanatics.com for the sponsorship. Had to stick with that local company here in Jacksonville, so I wanted to go with them. So,
And 80% of my attire is Fanatics.
hey,
Gotta
what's that tell you?
brand, baby.
You need to log into Fanatics, get yourself some new gear for the season. Head on over to fanatics.com. Check them out.
Yes.
And Mike already mentioned it, so I want to give a huge shout out here real quick to somebody for the intro song. So huge shout out to our boys in Agony of Defeat.
Yes.
The song on the intro is All I Know, Take the L, featuring Jared Gomes from Head PE. Thanks, boys. That is a rocking song, and man, did it go good and make me want to strap it up as well. So shout out to you guys. Alec, hopefully you're watching, boy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Let's have some fun now. I'm starting to get hungry.
Let's do this.
So fair time in Iowa, one of the best times of the year for those who have never been to the Iowa State Fair. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing if you like to eat food and drink beer. Today, we are going to talk just about the food. So we're going to talk about, well, let's just start with taking a look at the first wave of new food. Take a look. Now, what is one thing you want to try, Brandon?
Well, since my wife and I are foodies, I would really like to be a psychopath and destroy my mouth with some deep fried hot Cheetos pretzel, because I don't really care about myself. I just want to destroy my tongue. So why the hell not?
Terry, we can't steal your burgers for this show. You do that another one.
I mean, I could sit here all day and like go through every single item on this list and tell you that I would just stuff my face. Do you remember? Actually, let me ask you this. Do you remember the game back in the 90s called Big Bertha? You used to throw those little plastic balls in the big lady in the mouth, and every time you threw it in her mouth, it would expand. Well, if you think about it, that would be me. Every single one of these, I would try to eat every single item, and then I would just eventually be on my 600-pound life, and I have to go see doctor now and probably not make it to next year. So I'm a fat fuck. I can't help it. I love this shit. Food's amazing to me.
Same. Bubba. Shout out, Bubba. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
Deep
buddy.
fried hot Cheeto pretzels is what he says. Sounds amazing. I would have to agree.
It does.
But I would probably have to take, if I had to choose one thing on this thing, I'm probably going to try that garlic ranch pickle pizza.
That was my second thing.
Like,
that's hilarious, dude. Oh,
never had a pickle pizza. I keep seeing that shit. I have never had one. So I would probably try that, to be honest with you.
I bet you miss Casey's.
I do miss Casey's.
You guys don't have one down in Florida?
Not yet, but they just bought a bunch of gas stations, so the closest Casey's will actually be in Pensacola. So still a drive for me, but
that's not bad.
If I decided I wanted to, I could drive the 2 hours to there
with your
Casey's Pizza and drive home.
Let's say you're Midwest born and bred, dude. 14-hour, like a 15-hour car ride to you is nothing.
Hey, as long as I get there at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they still have breakfast pizza. Because when I was in Nashville, I would say about a month ago, went to a Casey's there, strolled in at 8:50, and all they had was pepperoni and sausage pizza. And I'm like, the hell, man? I've waited months and years for this shit, and you already don't even have it during breakfast time? Like, come on, man.
That's pathetic.
I know, man. I was so let down. Man, I've never been so let down.
That's what they're known for. See, this is why, I'm going to bug the shit out of you to come back to Iowa for a game this year, because the first thing we're going to do as soon as you land, or if you decide to be a ballsy motherfucker and drive, we're going to go hit up a Casey's, and we're going to go get you some breakfast pizza.
That's all I need, man. 2 pieces of those, an energy drink. That's how we'll start the morning.
Nah. Drink some beer.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I've actually never had beer with breakfast pizza before, and I've always wanted to try it. That's one thing that I feel like would go good together, but maybe this year.
One thing I do not look forward to and will not try, and I can't imagine that somebody sat there and said, you know what, this would probably be good. Hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe somebody out there has had it. Deep fried bubble gum. I'm just picturing that pink shit that loses its flavor in about 10 minutes, oozing out of a hot tortilla, and I'm not a fan for it. I'm not here for that shit. I don't know about you.
So out of any bubble gum that you ever had in your entire lifetime, you would like your favorite bubble gum.
That's not how it works.
Try. Well, I guess like if you're a wintergreen or whatever fan, that would be kind of disgusting. I get what you're saying there. But
yeah, think about that.
I guess I understand now what you're saying. I'll give you $20 to try it. How about that?
$20 to try it. That means I'd have to come back in next week.
No.
Oh, you want me to make it myself?
Go to your store. Yeah.
All right.
Go to your. There's a fryer in your stores, right? Can you get access to the kitchens when you go on and do your little thing, right? For work.
Damn right I do. You
okay.
want me to deep fry some bubble gum?
Yes, please. And then I want you to film it. And then I want you to or you could either film it, send it directly to me, or you could go live, and then I will comment, and I will laugh at you. And if you turn out to actually like it, then I will refund your money. Or no, not refund your money, my bad. I will give you $20 more.
If I don't like it?
Because you liked it. No, if you like it.
Oh, I like money, so I'll try everything once. So, guess bring on the fried bubble gum. Terry, I
have to do it.
I'm curious. I want to see this burger. I want to know what you put on it in honor of the Iowa State Fair. So when you do that, let me know. We'll show yours on here too. Don't tell the boot guys, but I'm stealing you for ours too.
Crazy burger.
All right, let's see.
Corn. Hold on a minute. Corn in a cup.
I don't know.
What?
This is Iowa. You get on the cob, damn it. What the hell? That should be
Dude, I can make that at home. Why is this on the list?
I don't know. Maybe that's something crazy. I don't know. All right, that's not all of them. Here's part 2.
Don't. Oh God, more.
Yeah, they just send this shit, man.
Oh, I'm a big seafood guy. That I will say this though, that is one thing about the state you live in now that I absolutely love. Seafood is my thing. So I am eyeballing the lobster corn dog.
Ooh.
It just sounds good to me. I actually have it on my notes right here. It's maybe my second new food item, which reminds me. Back one page, you don't have to go back, but there was a cheeseburger egg roll.
Cheeseburger corn dog.
Corn dog. Well, wait a minute. Wait. I swear I saw an egg roll. There is a bacon cheeseburger egg roll. Yeah.
Is it?
So, yeah. Dude, you would tell me you would not try that.
I would, man, but now I see this. I'm a sucker for lobster rolls. I see this 2-foot lobster roll on this one. Like, how much is that thing gonna be? Like $60?
You
Those
know,
things are like $23, and you're still just getting one of these shit ass small sandwiches. What?
I can't remember. Like usually when I went to the fair, this is gonna make me sound like a piece of shit, but I didn't pay for anything, or like I was drunk and I paid, but I didn't know where I was at. So, what are fair prices like? Like, is it just like going to a stadium? Just like you're gonna pay for being there?
I don't remember the last time I went to the fair. To be honest with you, I moved away in 2018.
Okay.
I think I went in 16 or 17. So shit, I
Okay.
couldn't tell you. I'm sure it's triple now with the.
So we were probably at the fair. We were probably at the fair at the same time and had no freaking clue. Man, that's wild.
Yeah,
Yes, Terry.
You probably bumped into me. Shit.
Get the fuck out of my way, man. That's my Hawkeye poster, not yours, fool. Get.
Fighting for it, man. Very
Dude,
nice.
did you see what Terry sent? Funnel cake burger.
See, I could fuck with that.
Take my money. Take it.
Yeah. So that what would be the number one food for you?
I'm gonna go with an Iowa classic. I can get it anywhere I want, but for some reason, I'm a freak. And there's a guy on Instagram that is going to every single county in Iowa, and he's trying the breaded pork tenderloin. You can never go wrong with that. That is my Achilles heel. Yes.
Same.
Oh.
If it's not bigger than the bun, you shouldn't be eating it. That's all I'm gonna say. If you get one of these and it fits right on the bun perfectly, walk out of that damn place and move on. That is not a tenderloin. This is a damn tenderloin. And this I cannot get in Florida either. So this is some shit that I miss too. Casey's Pizza, breaded pork tenderloins.
Can't forget them scotcheroos there, boy. Them scotches. Dude, now I'm hungry. And I have a case. Casey's is going to be the close by the time we get off here. Damn it.
Dean says he's going to Oklahoma to get his Casey's Pizza. Shit, I may have to commute all the way there to get that shit.
They do have Casey's in Oklahoma. I've talked to some people that live down there. They do have Casey's down there. I don't know if they have them in Texas or not, but
what about this bad boy? What's your thoughts on this? Speaking of funnel cakes, you imagine that with a burger? Whew. Terry,
have you ever had donut burgers?
I have. I just feel like this would just hit one step up.
I feel like I would have to go to the diabetes clinic at my job if I was going to eat that. So yes, you're damn right I would eat that, and you're damn right I could eat that for months. No shame.
Oh man! All right, now that we're hungry, I think we should get back to the fun stuff. Feel free to in our comments. Feel free. We'll be watching in the comments. Share what you would choose if you had to choose something on the fair list, or what you miss most if you're not from Iowa anymore. We'll still show it up there. We'll flash it up there. We're just going to keep the ball rolling.
Sounds good.
Camp news. Brandon, what do you got for us?
It's typical Iowa, not much going on just yet. However, I did find out today when I popped up on YouTube that Kirk Ferentz will be speaking with the media at 1:45 Central this Friday. Finally. It's about goddamn time. I love hearing from Coach Ferentz, especially when it's camp time. He has a lot to say. He always references the 80s, which is fine. I love hearing about that stuff because I grew up listening to my dad talk about the glory days.
Same.
Everything's going well. The little bit of things I read on 24/7 Sports, which is my main source of information, by the way. Thank you, College Football Dogs, for that. Basically, Cade's as healthy as ever. Brendan Sullivan, your boy, is actually kicking some ass. So there is a quarterback competition, but we are pretty sure that Cade's going to win the job.
Yeah.
The wide receiver room is getting some ballers, and that's exactly what we need because we just haven't had like multiple guys step up. And I think that with this new offense coming in and Tim Lester doing his thing, I think that it's going to open up the playbook and things are going to start going smooth. And we will keep talking about that every week. So yes, we will be offensive and talk about offense.
Yeah.
So,
See what you did there. Well, that
anyway.
Well, then
yes.
let's skip ahead. You already brought it up, wide receiver core.
I apologize.
It's all good.
I apologize because it's if you're an Iowa fan and you're listening to this, you guys understand that not a lot comes out of Iowa. We're not a flashy, hey guys, look at me, like Colorado is or any of the big blue bloods.
This guy,
Jacob Gill, my man, Mr. Northwestern.
One of the few things I've heard out of camp is that this guy has speed that we don't have, and he pairs it with his route running abilities.
Yes.
Apparently, the other day he got open for 2 or 3 deep bombs at camp. Basically, he just great move and then just put on the burners by him. And if that's true, that's
I believe it.
I'm excited for. Huge.
I believe it.
And there's a reason he followed his quarterback here. So I think this was your transfer to watch, I believe, right?
Yes.
Very small workload, obviously last year at Northwestern, but I mean, if what I'm hearing, that's what we need. We need somebody that can change the speed of the game, and we haven't had that since Smith Marset, I believe. He was the last speed. I mean, Charlie Jones, but we didn't use him like we should. That's a whole nother story.
Well, he went to Purdue. We don't speak of that, man. He took off. He left.
Do you blame him?
Yeah, no, but
it helped his.
I'm always gonna. But he went to Purdue, so that kind of broke my heart a little bit. So I would like to speak on this man a little bit. So in his 3-year career at Northwestern, he had 17 catches for 195 yards and only 2 touchdowns. But think of it this way. It's Northwestern. Northwestern's usually not a big flashy chuck the ball up in the air, get your receiver the ball. They love to run the ball. They always have, and they probably always will.
Yep.
The thing that Iowa needs to do is use as many weapons at receiver as humanly possible for the sole reason that we need to open up the goddamn playbook. And I've said this for years now. If we can get speedy people in our wideout spot. Well, he's a slot receiver, and the slot position's already crowded enough with all of the guys that they got so far, which is actually a good problem to have until one of them gets mad and doesn't play and transfers out. But I feel like with the Shanahan offense that Lester wants to run, he's going to get some playing time. They're going to throw in a bunch of receivers, so there's always going to be a healthy receiver, and I think he's going to make some noise.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I actually chose the other duo from Northwestern.
And I'm very disappointed with you in this, by the way, and I'll explain. But I would actually like to hear you. I would like to hear your why he's the transfer to watch. I'm curious.
For one, I didn't want to pick the same one as you, and we only have 3 transfers this year, so we're kind of slim pickings.
True.
I did choose him because. 2, he's a proven winner. He helped lead Northwestern to a bowl game, get their coach of the year last year in the Big Ten. Look at his stats. I think that was 4 games that he really got to see the field. We're talking 64%, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's more than our quarterbacks had, period, all year. Actually, I don't know if that's 100% true, but our quarterbacks didn't do anywhere near this type of production. And he did this in 4 games at Northwestern with the backs against the wall, with a fired coach, an interim coach. I just think he has the skill. He has the experience. He has the tool set. He's 6'4". He's got the right size for us. And I think he would be a great option if McNamara, hate to say it, can't stay upright, as history has shown for him, unfortunately, that we will still be in good hands with him.
Okay.
That's my hunch. I would have went with Gill. Just like you, just for what I've heard, but I want to be a little different.
That makes me feel a lot better that you said that. I was just really hoping and praying to God you aren't like, well, I'm expecting Cade to go down in week 3 with another torn ACL.
Now I got him upright all year, but
that I do too. So that makes more sense. Now my question to you is, how many times do you think this man sees the field thinking that Cade McNamara is going to stay healthy the entire year? because he's going to be a starter. If he doesn't leave this year, he's going to be a starter next year, and he's got like I think 2 years of eligibility left.
Yeah,
and we need him. He's got legs, like he can move. So we definitely need him.
I think we'll see him Illinois State right out the gate. We'll get some garbage time with him. I think we will see him in some garbage time games, maybe with Troy. And then that's probably about it, to be honest with you. I don't see any offense to know.
So in my opinion, I think as far as like, I agree with you on the non-cons, but as far as like Big Ten, I think we'll see him like later on, as long as we have a comfortable lead. Unless you know, and then like in years past, remember with Jake Rudock to CJ Beathard, Jake Christensen to Ricky Stanzi. Do you see that possibly happening?
I don't yet. Okay. I guess we'll see how
right. Absolutely.
Starts. And I think we're gonna have to see flashes of him come in as a backup for people to really jump on that train. Because we saw flashes of those other guys when they came in as backups, and we're all like, why are they not playing? Most Iowa fans did not watch a single Northwestern game other than when he took on us. He actually was the quarterback for them against us. Though they didn't win, he kept them in the game, and they had a chance to win that thing. So,
yeah, and destroyed my favorite baseball team's field while they were at it too.
Yeah,
so
big dogs, we destroyed that field. That's why you don't play baseball.
But it was good though.
Or football.
But it was good though. They won. So,
but yeah, those are that. I mean, that's mine, just so I can be a little different from what you have going on.
I don't blame you for that. That's okay by me.
All right. What else you got, sir? Let's do some fun stuff. Just some shit.
Yes. Let's
had some downtime, obviously, with football ending, basketball ending, and then obviously the Iowa baseball did not live up to expectations. So I've had a lot of free time on my hands, and that means scouring some things. But we're gonna start off with this one. I'll let you take over. Coach's poll, baby.
Oh man.
First one of the season.
So when I was younger and I first learned the ropes of football, I used to think that, oh, hey, the coaches know a lot more than the AP people. Well, pretty sure I've heard from multiple sources that I'm pretty sure that none of these were voted by actual head coaches, and maybe they were, but if they were voted by head coaches, they were probably for like the group of 5. So you can take this list with a grain of salt. As long as the AP poll comes out actually next Monday, it's around the same, then yeah, you can believe that. But I like this list. Iowa being at number 25 is right where I had them. You know, I've seen like Joel Klatt has Iowa at like, I think 24, and then Nebraska even at 23. I've seen various RJ Young, I think, had Iowa at 22. So it's just really an eye test, and it's very difficult to judge all these. But I will say this though, the top 5's correct. I will totally go with that. The top 5's correct. Georgia is, until otherwise, they're the best.
Yep.
Now, you could make an argument for number 2 between Ohio State and Oregon, but guess what? That's what October 12th's for. They'll be playing in Eugene, so we'll figure that one out.
That's going to be a glorious day for football, too.
Oh, I know, dude. And I like I said, I'm going to get you out to Iowa, and you better come out for that Washington game, dude. That's going to be a blast. So I'm going to try my hardest to convince you to come out. But back to the poll.
Do you agree? Iowa at 25, or would you place them somewhere else?
25. I will always say with the way that we were last year and with what's all coming back, I will always feel safe putting Iowa in like the upper 20 or the mid to upper 20s. I'll never put them in the top 20 unless like everybody's back and they have like big playmakers, especially on offense and defense. But we only really have defense, so 25 is perfect.
Who's underrated on here? If you had to choose, who would you say underrated? And then I'll give you mine.
Utah.
You think Utah?
I think Utah should be higher.
I'd say right next to you with Clemson. I think they should be higher too. They lost 0 people to the portal. 0.
That's impressive. In
That's
this day and age, are you serious?
correct.
That's impressive.
0. Iowa lost, I think, 3.
Vines,
What I read.
and then somebody else.
So
Vines.
we were one of the lower ones from the portal, but they had nothing. So they have the same people who they're not recruiting chumps, man. I mean, they're
definitely not. Dabo's still
solid. They had a rough year last year.
Right.
And they're playing in that conference. Florida State's their only Virginia Tech, maybe. Florida State, maybe. Who else then? Boston College? No. Stanford? Nah.
Syracuse. You got to go with
California.
it's always Syracuse.
I think 14's low for them with what they have and the talent they have. I would probably put them. Sorry, Mike.
10?
I'd probably put them at 8. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Sorry, Mike. Michigan's got to go.
Nah, don't be sorry.
All right. Who's too high? Who's too high for you?
Missouri. And that's probably because that I wouldn't say I'm anti-Missouri, but like I just never I don't know. I think they're overrated. I think they had a good year last year. You beat Ohio State in the bowl game. What do you freaking do? Like there was a lot of people out. The SEC is going to be stacked this year. I could honestly see any team winning the SEC. You too, buddy. Sean, go Hawks.
Go Hawks, Sean.
So it's always amazing to me. So like, I don't mean to talk shit about Iowa, but in the past when Iowa's been highly ranked to start the year, I always was like, okay, it's a little high. Like they always ranked Iowa really high to me. I figured maybe 5 or 10 spots way too high. And I'm usually right. So what was that? So the year after, for example, the year after 2009, 2010, I think they came in, what was it?
High.
12? Very high. I'm like, no, it's Iowa. It's always safe to rank Iowa lower. I feel Missouri is the same way. Missouri always gets a lot of praise for how they finish the season, but they never, to me, it seems like they never take into account what they have the year that they're feeling like doing these rankings. Missouri is always overrated. They always underperform to me. So, and
I gotta go with Miami.
That would be number 2 for me. Miami.
They have not showed. Sorry, they have not showed a damn thing in 10 years.
And it's going to continue because
I'm not sipping that Kool-Aid, and I don't think they should be 19. I don't think Arizona should be 21 either. They got a hell of a wide receiver and a quarterback, but what else? They can compete with K-State, Oklahoma State, the Big 12, or Utah. I mean, pretty low on that thing.
Yeah, that would definitely 1 and 2 would be for me. Missouri and Miami would definitely be top 2 overrated teams.
All right. Next thing, I came across this.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh, yes.
This says
yes.
Good thing and bad thing for me. I'm sure you'll probably agree with me. The good thing, we were one of the winningest teams in the college football playoff era.
But what did we do?
Nothing. That's the bad news. Most of those teams ahead of us have playoff appearances or national championships. I think the only one without a playoff appearance ahead of us is Oklahoma State.
Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin made it. Did they? Did they?
No, they have not.
Okay.
So 2. And we'll pass Wisconsin this year. So I think we'll pass them because they have a doozy of a schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. So I think we'll pass them. Who else stands out to you on this? Who's like, wow, I didn't realize they were that good for that long.
Iowa State. I'm always gonna make fun of Iowa State. It's in my blood. Any list that they're on, I'm always gonna like give them shit because they've been bad they've had their good years, yes, but I feel like they've had more bad years than good. So seeing them at that many wins is surprising to me. Another one is UCF. I know they had a really good year in 2017 before Frosty decided to go back to his alma mater, but I don't remember them being good besides that year. And maybe they were like at 8 or 9 wins, but I just don't
They had
remember.
They had a couple good years right after they won their national championship.
And who was the? Well, yeah, I anything Florida, this man will know. I should ask you who was their coach after Frosty?
Oh boy, drawing a blank. It was pretty sure it's who they have right now. I think they're still on the same coach.
Gus Malzahn? No, is it Gus Malzahn?
I think so. I'm gonna look.
Really?
Because now I'm curious.
I swore to God that he was with. No, I'm an idiot because that was the first year of the playoff was when he. Yeah. Let's see who else we got.
Hold on, we're gonna see here. I'm gonna get that answer. You keep talking.
Are we tied with Penn State? I can't see the bottom with.
Yeah, they have 88 as well.
Wow.
So that stands out to me too.
Washington. What about Washington? I could have sworn they've been like kind of mediocre with like maybe 7 or 8 wins on average. I don't remember them being that good. Utah's a little low. I figured with like Kyle Willingham, he's a damn good coach, man. I'll tell you what, he's an older guy, kind of like Kirk, but if it happens that Kirk went bye-bye, I would want him as a coach. And even at his age, he's a damn good coach. If you've ever watched any of his interviews, anything, he's an amazing coach.
I got your answer.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Josh Heupel. Heupel.
Oh, Heupel from
Tennessee.
Oklahoma. Oh, well, yeah, but the Oklahoma
Tennessee now. Yeah.
Okay. Really?
And he had a what did it say he had? 28-6 record.
Jeez.
Let me see.
That's not bad at all. I mean,
28-8 record.
And they were, oh Jesus, Conference USA, right? Right before they went Big 12. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Scott Frost was 19-7, 28-8, and then Gus Malzahn's 24-16. So they've been this is a really good list, man. Like there's been a lot of good, like the last 10 years have been really 10 years. 10 years, baby.
10 years. That's nuts, dude. I remember when it was the BCS.
Good times. Who else stands out to you guys out there, Hawkaholics? Anybody want to chime in? Feel free to comment. Let us know. We'll discuss it, talk about it. One thing is I got a shout out here is Vandy Chris. I'm sorry, man, that you guys are sitting there at the lone bottom there with Kansas. 36, my man. What the hell? Is this the year you turn it all around, my friend? I think it might be.
And to think Aaron Rodgers' brother was the savior. God, terrible.
I'm trying to see who else stands out to me. I mean, look at who Iowa's tied with or ahead of. Penn State, Florida State, USC, Florida, Texas A&M, Miami, Auburn, Ole Miss, Texas, Tennessee. I mean, we're talking big-time football programs that Iowa is ahead of.
Still impressive.
It's impressive considering what we recruit and where a lot of our players come from. I mean, the fact that we're doing all these wins, does it suck we don't have any Big Ten championships? Hell yeah, it sucks. Does it suck we haven't made a playoff yet? Damn right it sucks. But
we're not the only one. Just remember that.
Yeah, and I will take my 9-10 wins a year all day, every day. All day, every day. I've seen the alternative. You ask Nebraska how that's been going for them. Ask all these schools that get rid of their coaches because they think grass is greener. It's not the case, especially in this day and age of football. It's really not the case now. Your chance to get to build a program, it's gone. Nobody's going to give you 10 years like they gave Kurt Ferentz. Nobody's going to give you 5 years most of the time anymore. So, I mean, it says a lot about the program, and we're there. We just got to find a way to make that next step. Personally,
This is the year to do it too, though. And
12-team playoff.
makes me scared. Like thinking about next year just scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like losing all the guys that we have this year just scares me. So like if we finish to me less than 9 wins, I'm gonna cry, and I will come on this show and start crying in front of all of you people. I promise.
All right, we'll do one more thing I found, Scour, and hopefully this isn't too hard to read. I know there's some shit cut off at the bottom. Hold on,
That's all right.
Let me solve that.
Blind as a bat, but that's okay.
All right, so
just percentage.
It sucks. I cannot remember where I found this from. So if you were the person that did it, I am very sorry. Let me know, and I'll give you your proper props. But this is winning percentage, I believe, the last 10 years as well. The 5 main power sports between men's and women's basketball, football, baseball, and I guess softball, wrestling in Iowa, where we come from. These are your winning percentages for all those. Again, Iowa at number 11 for this an athletic program as a whole is phenomenal. And then you see who we're competing with up there. A lot of those schools. I mean,
who's number 1? I can't see number 1.
I can't either. Hold on.
Gotta
go full screen. Tennessee. I could see that. Just won the national championship in baseball. Good basketball programs, good football programs.
Well, you got Oklahoma that just softball this, football. This is good company. I can't complain. We're ahead of Michigan even. Look at that.
Ahead of Michigan, USC again, Florida State, Clemson, Oregon, Virginia Tech. I mean, we're ahead of a lot of people.
Damn, I wish we were ahead of Bama.
Sleeper school, man. I'm telling you, man. We got the facilities.
Got the facilities, just need the peeps.
It's cool, man. I like seeing stuff like this. So shout out to whoever made this. I'm sorry again. I didn't save where it came from. So if it was you, holler at me. I'll give you your props. But yeah, very cool and very awesome to see the Hawkeyes riding so high in the country.
Absolutely.
In all those major sports. And I don't know much about Iowa's softball. I don't think it's very good. So I think if we had a decent program, this would be even higher, to be honest with you. So kind of cool.
I love it. Thank you, by the way, whoever.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. This is awesome. I like this stuff. It's very, very humbling and makes us feel better about our lives.
I know. When we're sitting there feeling down because we lost the Big Ten championship game, we just pull up those other 50-plus people that are behind us in all these categories and be like, could be a lot worse.
Exactly.
All right, man. Let me take a look. I think we'll take one more break, and then we'll come back home, wrap this up, and kind of go from there. Sound good with you, sir?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
All right. We're going to give a shout out to our home base of the college football dogs. So if you like what you see and you want to hear more content, please log on to the College Football Dogs website or follow them on any of the other social media outlets. So yeah.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I don't know, Brandon. You say we wrap this up and take it home.
Bring it in. Let's do it.
You got any Hawkeye news for us? Anything you want to touch on before we head off the air?
Well, to those of you that weren't around, Kirk Ferentz is going live Friday at 1:45 Central Time. Should be on all social media networks, YouTube, He will speak with the media. People ask him how the
Dean
practice is going. Jeez, Dean, sorry, man.
Dean, you all right, man?
Goddamn California, eh?
Dean, where do you live at, Dean? Just out of curiosity. Did you say
Bakersfield, California.
That's where he lives?
Yeah, he's a Californian. Yep.
Damn. Well, stay safe out there, Dean, man. Stay safe. It's a wild year so far.
Got freaking earthquakes, hurricanes, naders over here in Iowa, heat,
Hurricane
wildfires in
Debbie
Colorado.
down here. Said
Hurricane
Debbie's
Big
big
Deborah.
ass through here.
Big Deborah.
That bitch,
Give me
man.
some honey buns with that.
She didn't bring no honey buns. She's brought a shit ton of rain. It
Shoot.
didn't stop for shit. It's still cloudy and shitty today.
Right.
Come on, man. Sunshine
Before-
State. Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I'd like to thank the Big Ten backers for giving me the inspiration to start this podcast. And Brad, thank you so much for joining me. And I really just thank you guys. And thank you to everybody that's listening right now. I'm so excited for this upcoming season. I pray to God we go undefeated. But it is Iowa. Shit happens. We'll be here no matter what, win, lose, draw. The earth falls off. Well, maybe not if the earth falls off. If my house gets blown out by a tornado and whatever the hurricane name is pops through or something happens. But I want to say thank y'all, and we'll be here next week, same time, 8 p.m. Can't miss it. We'll be live on Facebook and Twitter. We are trying to work on a YouTube page. We will also be getting on all audio networks as much as possible: Spotify, Stitcher, Odyssey, you name it, man. We're just getting started, and we ain't going nowhere. So go Hawks, baby.
Like us, share
Let's
us.
go Hawks.
You like what you see. Tell your friends. We're just trying to build this thing. We make no money doing this. We just have a passion for the Hawkeyes. So,
yes, sir.
But yeah, thanks everybody for coming and spending this debut show with us. Next week we'll tackle some more things. We're going to do some preseason awards, and we'll even do
Hawkeye Heaven, baby. Don't forget,
Hawkeye Heaven.
Hawkeye Heaven's coming aboard.
Will be our
Pumps,
guest,
baby.
and we'll talk about the origin of the wave, and then we'll just pick his brain on some Hawkeye fun stuff. Yeah, Brandon, pleasure as always.
See you next week, buddy.
Until next week, my friend. Till next week.
It's a work and it's absurd how we never seem to get it or kick this shit to the curb now. It's all I got and on the road. It's all she wrote. It's all I know. It's all I know. It's not to know you. It's all I got and on the road. It's all she wrote. It's all I know. It's all I know. It's not to know you.
You ever wonder when it's time to stop living up here and start living down here?
Don't take a loss. I double down.